Recently, for reasons I won't bother to go into, I got Amazon Prime and was delighted to discover that this came with loads of free films. And since there seem to be thousands on there, I thought it might be an interesting idea to review some of the films it recommends for me. Now, since we're still getting to know each other, I thought I'd start with a film that was, for some ungodly reason, one of the first films I saw being recommended to me. Air, released in 2014 by someone called Nick Royer, who has no picture on IMDb, and this was the last of 2 films he's been involved in. He directed a short film called Flight 209, of which I can find absolutely no information. But back to Air. I decided to catch this because surely films on the front page should be the best that a site has to offer. I mean, this is being advertised alongside Hitchcock, Heat, last year's The Big Sleep. It has to be good, right? Well, better than Space Boobs from Outer Space, at least. Secondly, the premise actually sounds pretty interesting. Coming up from a dive, a scuba diver surfaces to a wob with no breathable air, and must fight to get back to her family and her son before her tanks run out. So, probably futile quest, a ticking clock scenario, extremely limited resources. It kind of reminded me a lot of The Road, which dealt with a similar scenario and made me appreciate what we take for granted in today's world. And so, what if the budget was only $70,000? A few years ago, we sent a zombie film called Colin to Cannes when it only had a budget of £45. Not million or 100,000, £45. And apparently most of it went on biscuits. Hell, it even got a DVD release in the colonies and has 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. So with my morning commute awaiting, I downloaded it and off we went to the worst apocalypse film I think I've ever seen. I do want to stress that I find this central idea interesting. It's just that there were a few things missing. Dialogue that sounds like it was written by an actual human being and not some computer program codenamed the Exposition-tron 3000, and if it wasn't obvious that the diving scenes were filmed in someone's shallow pool with blue cloth draped in the background, and the people on set, my god, the people on set. Look, I get that low-budget films tend not to attract huge names, but could you not find a local group of actors who would have worked for scale? Or at least made it look like you didn't just cast your mates and your mum and dad? Jesus Christ, I've been in student films with higher production values than this. Oh, don't bother looking for them. There was a fire, and they were all destroyed. Terrible fire, many killed, legally not my fault. Then we get to the lead person on whom this whole film rides. An ordinary woman, coming up from an ordinary dive to a dead world, trying everything to get back to her family in a quest that she won't admit to herself is probably going to end in her finding them dead, making impossible choices as she interacts with what few survivors she comes across, and she's the worst thing in the film. Sasha is her name, and I'll say this, the director certainly got his money worth out of her being in this miserable little film. Not only is she the lead person wandering around on set speaking words, she was also the hairstylist and makeup artist. And, well, let's just say that her talents are better served behind the camera. Way behind the camera. I've seen more trauma on people who realise that coffee has gone cold whilst they were on the phone and now face the horrific choice of drinking it cold, nuking it, throwing it away, or the correct decision of throwing it away and making a cup of tea instead. There are a million plot holes as well. Sasha clearly has no idea how a scuba tank works. It seemingly lasts forever until the plot says it doesn't. It has holes in logic, was really badly dubbed over in post-production, and just feels like someone's student film that somehow leaked out into the real world. There's a really good idea here that suits a low-budget film. And make no mistake, I've seen better films with lower budgets, but for this one, I'm in complete agreement with the 13 people on Amazon who have given this film a 1-star rating. If this is how you start a new relationship, Amazon Prime, then I don't see it being one for the ages. I'm sorry, says the app. Would it help if I recommended you The Pianist, Full Metal Jacket and Seven for free download? Yes. Yes, it would. Alright guys, this film is fire, but what do you think is the coolest, cheapest apocalypse you can imagine? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel. This has been a Not So Amazon Prime. Did you enjoy this? Do you want me to keep doing it? Comment below, let me know. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.